Hello, fellow collectors. So we have another challenge that I'm always learning about challenges through one of my subscriptions, Diecast Looney. So thanks again, buddy. I appreciate you letting me know what the challenges are. This challenge is put up by Gary's Diecast Collection, another great channel in my subscriptions. So both of these people are putting up content all the time. So just go through all my subscriptions. They're all great. So it's always good to learn about other castings and stuff from everyone else. And so this is for the Wings Challenge. So I have a 10, car related models. And then if you stick around, I'm going to show you an airplane with probably the finest printing you'll ever see on any model in your life. So that's why it is. Anyways, let's continue on. What you see in front of you is the Hot Wheels Homer. Homer Simpson designed this car. And I'm sorry, look at the thing. It's ridiculous. And so, very often my reviews are very negative because I'm let down by this hobby so often. But when it comes to clownish things like this stuff makes me happy. So, it's not expensive and it literally made me laugh. So that's well worth the price of admission. Someone asked about this. It was in one of my very early backgrounds, and they asked what it was, and frankly I didn't know. Because I bought this probably 15 years ago. It's a majorette, and it's called a drone. And so all it really says on the bottom. I think it might have been part of a 5-pack of like some futuristic ones, because I have another futuristic vehicle that is styled the same way, but it has like 6 wheels. But this one has the wing going on, right? So I don't know what it reminds me of. It looks like kind of like a Star Wars vehicle, I guess, with wheels, like Ray's speeder or something like that. Alright, well, let's continue on. Getting into, I guess, well, we'll go to normal cars again. And I'm sure some other people might put this in their challenge. This is the Mini GT version of the Bugatti. The Gran Turismo concept. Sorry, brain fart there. It's actually really hard to remember all the things you collect. And partially I think I'm just old and I can't remember much of anything. I literally think I forgot my age one year. I thought I was older than I really was. It's gonna happen to you too. You can laugh all you want, but it's gonna happen to you. So yeah, this is a fantastic model. For the price, this is absolutely wonderful. This is the finest Mini GT model that I'm aware of as far as its technical prowess goes. Look at all the crazy surfaces on this thing. So, fantastic job, Mini GT. Love you guys. Okay, next one is a brand called Sparky, which is, I guess, a sub-brand of Spark model. And Spark makes 187 and 143rd, and I don't know if they go bigger than that. I have a few 187s from these guys, and they're actually better, a lot better than their 164 scale vehicles. But this one is a Porsche, obviously. I have to take notes. The 919H from 2017. It's a Le Mans prototype racer. It's possible this actually won that season, but I can't remember again. Alright, so I apologize for that. But it's a nice model. The only, I guess, detriment is, like a lot of other brands, they use decals in many instances. Like, I think all the stripes, the red stripes on the front, and also the back, they're decals. And so very often you have air pockets, and what I'm afraid of really is them cracking in the future. Especially if you have an air pocket behind it, then it's going to crack off the vehicle. So, but for now, it's a pretty nice model. I like, race car development, how they just get crazier and crazier. And some of that transitions back into road models. So the styling of this guy is pretty crazy, right? As most Lamborghinis are crazy. This is the Veneno, I think it's pronounced that way, but it's spelled Veneno. So I like to call it that myself. And this is, yeah, a pretty good Kyosho. It has more details than usual. It comes in one of those hard crystal cases. So it has, silver on the mirrors, and then some printing on the tires. And those are things you usually don't get from the typical blister pack Kyoshos. And it wasn't particularly expensive compared to some of the old blister pack Kyoshos. I think it was maybe 15 bucks when I bought this thing over a year ago. You might still be able to get it for that price. But a lot of open vents, a lot of... I think the rear half might be made of plastic, and that's why it might be so well detailed. Okay, but it definitely has some wings. Alright. This next one, I think this is also by Sparky. Yeah. This literally is a wing. It's called the Nissan Delta Wig. It was an experimental race car developed by some Americans, and they were trying to pitch it as a new form of race chassis. Unfortunately, it never really took off, of course, because you don't see these things running around. But the theory was, less frontal area, smaller engine, less fuel consumption. So this is before electric cars and stuff like that. Well, before they were popular. So I really like this. It's weird looking, right? It looks like an arrowhead, but the background story is trying to make things better by not being gas hogs and stuff like that. So okay, let's see what's coming up next here. These are in no particular order. So this is the Chara Wheels, which is a Japanese brand of Hot Wheels, and from my experience they seem to be higher detailed than regular Hot Wheels. I'll just show you the bottom here. So this got Japanese text on it, and that B means Bandai China. So Bandai is actually a Japanese company, and they're known for making Gundam model kits. Gundam model kits are the most advanced plastic model kits in history. You need to go get one of those kits, not a low grade one. Get a Gundam perfect grade, or at least yeah. Anyways, that's a different story. There's millions of YouTube channels about Gundams. But anyways, this is really influential. When I was a kid, when Michael Keaton was playing this Batman character, and Jack Nicholson was the Joker, and this is such an over-the-top vehicle, so that's why I like it. But you'll see the little turn signals there. They're actually plastic on the front, so you usually don't get that kind of... Well, you know what? Maybe modern Hot Wheels, you do get a lot of plastic turn signals now. Advancements in the hobby. Okay, so for the next one, we're going to go... This one's for all you cartooned vehicle fans. This is a resin model of an AMG GT3. In my review, it's questionable if this is based on a real car, but it still has a bunch of wings. Like maybe the most... This is one of the leaders of the wing collection in my collection. I mean, the front has like 6 barge boards. The sides, there's actually 8 barge boards on the side of... No, 10 or 12. It's a lot. And then obviously that giant rear wing. So these cartoon cars are just as detailed as regular resin cars. You'll notice there's actually an interior on this one, and there's interior details as well with those gauges and all that. So, and then you have the clear headlights, taillights, and yeah, it's amazing. It's actually harder to design a cartoon car than a regular car. So that's why I like them. Besides the fact that they look goofy, there's actually a lot of work going into them. Alright, what is next? Yes. So, I have a whole bunch of these things. They're made by Aoshima, and they have this collection of cars called Garachan Collection, which some people say are Kaido racers, other people think, or I think they're Bosozoku. So there's a couple different trends in Japan of putting these really impractical looking body kits in many instances. I mean, the ducktail wing is definitely big, but this front spoiler is so impractical. Like, how do you even get this off of a trailer? There's no way you could drive that anywhere. But even getting it on and off a trailer, I think, would be difficult, unless it has some sort of hydraulic lift system underneath it. This one I've also upgraded because all these Garachans have screwed together bases, but they never take... Oh, this one actually says Aoshima on the bottom. That's very rare. Usually they're just blank bottomed. But with the screwed base, you know, I did an alloy wheel swap. These are by BNDS, these alloy wheels. And then I repainted the interior because all of these Garachans usually just come with a black plastic interior. So, yeah, that's a good one. Alright, the last car. I guess I'll just put it on the same coaster. And this is a resin. It's of the Apollo Intensa. This is one of my very first resin model purchases. I bought it because of its crazy pink color and the crazy styling. It reminds me of like an insect or something, like a hornet or something like that. And there's just a lot of wings going on here, and a lot of color, a lot of details, grills everywhere. This is, I think, one of the best value resin models you can buy because there's actually metal grills in these front ends and also the back ends. It just has so much detail, it's amazing. So, alright. So that is it for the 10 cars. Let me pause here and bring out this airplane. Alright, so this is a 1/400 scale Boeing 787-9, and there's an actual plane painted in this livery, or at least at some point in time it was painted in this livery. This is a Japan airline. I'm sorry, this is an ANA Airlines. I was looking at that registration. Never mind. So it's R2-D2 as far as its livery goes. You can obviously see some metal, you know, fins. Those are like antennas for whatever systems are going on in the plane. This little radome is a separate piece. Not a radome, I think it's the satellite receiver. This is all die cast except for the landing gear. I think the wheels are actually milled aluminum with probably steel axles. I guess I have to stop this thing spinning. What I want to show you is the printing. It's the Star Alliance. If you're flown, it's an alliance of airline companies. So here on the front end, I'm zooming in 4 times now. That's the Star Alliance logo. I'm not sure if you can see it, and I can't see it on my mobile phone screen. This is a dental pick. It's a... Let me get this thing to focus. This Star Alliance text is legible. I think you can actually read it now. Right there, maybe? So, that is how good printing can be. So when I see, like, you know, Toyota logos that are hard to read and stuff like that, that's kind of why I get annoyed if it's on an expensive model. If it's on a cheap model, I don't care. So that's my ugly fingernail. This is legible text. It's just crazy what's going on with that thing. So I have a high respect for these die-cast airplanes. This one was made by, actually, I don't think this actually had a brand on the box because it wasn't licensed. But everyone theorized it was made by a company called Phoenix, and I think like the fiery bird that is, or the X-Men character. And I think Phoenix is still around. They do make, you know, things labeled as Phoenix, but this one I think they're avoiding some legal pursuits. The graphics on this thing, you'll notice there's a clear, very shiny coating over the graphics. So that's another reason why I get a little annoyed with some of the high-end resin models just having decals stuck on top of the surface. You know, if they're expensive, they should be clear coated. And then if you notice, this graphic is literally surrounding a tube. You can see R2-D2 going around the entire diameter of this fuselage. And then what's crazy is it becomes a tip. So I don't even comprehend how they do this. How do you line up these windows so perfectly around a tube that becomes an offset cone tip? It's a marvel of printing. So it's amazing. And look how shiny it is. all these graphics are underneath the clear coat. I don't have to worry of them cracking off or my fingers lifting a decal. But I think broke one of those antennas off. So I should not pull these out so often. Yeah, I broke that antenna off. This is for a peg, a stand if you want to have in flight mode. And then oddly, for you rollering people, these wheels do roll. Okay, so very nice. Alright, well, as usual, I want to thank Gary's Diecast Car Collection and Diecast Looney for these challenges. So it's nice to go back and look at what you picked up over the times. And in this case, I picked up this airplane a long time ago. Maybe 10 years ago? At least 5 years ago. As again, I can't remember anything. Okay, well thank you guys. Hopefully I'll see you in the next challenge. Take care and happy collecting.